We'd come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's gonna happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. The life we have chosen has prepared us for this. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're gonna save families from disasters and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Hello and welcome, Madden fans. We are here and we are live. The Rally Cry Collegiate Series featuring Madden 24, presented, of course, by the Army National Guard, starts right now. The end starts right now. Excuse me. We're in the end game now, Novanta.
Oh, I can't believe you said that. I love my reference because I have the Dormammu tie clip here just for the occasion. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Love it.
So many different weeks of qualifications brought us here, and you know what? The ones we've seen yesterday and the ones we've seen over the past several weeks definitely earn a spot to be in contention here today.
Absolutely. Now there is a whole lot on the line today. We have been going through 8 weeks of open qualifiers, like Novanta just said. Now we have the cream of the crop. They have risen to the top. What is that? A couple players deleted out. No, four players. Sorry, half of this total bracket deleted out so far. 4 players left who are going to be fighting for the prize pool. Now, speaking of, this is a lot of cash on the line here going to these Madden players when we're talking about prizing. There's obviously plenty of other Rally Cry Collegiate Series going on, the HBCU stuff for the fighting game community. That is Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Tekken 7, as well as some CS2 and some Rocket League, as well, of course, of Madden Novanta.
Yeah, those other games are fine and dandy, but today we're talking about the gridiron, man. $5,000 divided between the top 4 positions here. It says that, look, you made it this far, you get some cash in hand, but you know there's always a little bit of room to get some more. You know what I'm saying?
A fantastic point. Everybody here, all 4 of these players, whether your name is No Mercy Lambo, Luke Plays Lacrosse, Juixetae, or Neighbor, you are winning $500, and that is just playing for a little bit of Madden. Now, the top 2 players would be punching their ticket as well to the opportunity to win $2,500 for first or $1,500 for second, and that's it, Novanta. That is the only thing on the line right now.
Yep, the only thing on the line, but the NFL draft there, Tugboat going out there to Detroit, being amongst the luminaries and dignitaries of the National Football League, who are just going to be side by side between you and greatness. So imagine being able to embarrass your opponent in front of a crowd. Well, now be your chance, and maybe get an autograph. Maybe, perhaps, kind of. Oh, yeah, maybe.
There you go. The lights and the sounds of the NFL draft. Yes, the top 2 competitors here and will not only be playing for a little bit extra cash in that competition, they will be flown all the way out to Detroit, Michigan to play in front of the next generation of talent of the NFL. The highest American football competition in the land, Novanta. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though we're fans of football in general, there's nothing that tops the NFL. And the fact that you can see NFL games in Europe, also too, is to make sure it's a global brand. But can you imagine that, just sitting in your room playing a couple games of Madden, and next thing you know, bam, you're playing in front of a huge crowd in Detroit, Michigan next month? That right there is a dream come true.
You know, I can't imagine it for a couple of different reasons. Maybe just not the competition part there, Novanta. Very, very exciting coming up. Very, very exciting stuff coming up here. I want to talk about the organization that makes this possible, of course, and that is the Army National Guard. Now, the Army National Guard, they're the first responders, to when there are emergencies here at home. Now, this is guard duty that is that is part-time. So a lot of National Guard members come forth and they're going to have like full-time jobs as well, part-time jobs, or they're going to be going forth and furthering their higher education. There are both state and federal tuition assistance programs available for Army National Guards people, and you can check out that and more over the ArmyNationalGuard.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta give a big shout out to the Army National Guard and the support of not only this tournament, but definitely esports in general. You can do more for yourself and your future. Soldiers in the Guard may qualify to receive education benefits from state and federal tuition assistance programs, which is really a good thing to have. And Soldiers in the Guard have the opportunity to gain transferable skills and leadership qualifiers outside the workplace and or classroom while pursuing a full-time job or going to school full-time as well. A great opportunity. Thank you so much. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Fantastic folks, making competitions like this one possible, and hey, getting some students paid, and getting them students flying all the way out to the NFL draft. I cannot think of a better ending for a Madden competition. Let's start talking about it. Let's be about it now. On the day, we got 4 players here, top of our bracket. This was a double elimination bracket as well, Novanta. So No Mercy, Lambo, and Luke plays lacrosse. They'll be facing on the top side of our bracket. Winner of there will be punching their ticket to the NFL draft, and essentially either $1,500 or $2,500, one of those two, right? Even if you lose, you'll be getting some $1,500, right? Juixetae, Neighbor, though, they're going to be ones playing up here in first on our broadcast, and do mine eyes deceive me, Novanto? What am I looking at?
We've got a lot to unpack here. Yes, 2 Jets. I'm seeing double 4 Jets here. Neighbor and Juixetae, we saw them on stream about 24 hours ago. It's about that exactly. But this is a lower bracket. So if you lose this matchup, you don't get to go to Detroit. Your chances are pretty much ending here today. You still walk away with some cash and some bragging rights. But yeah, this is why the lower bracket has just about as much stakes as that winner's side.
Yes, very, very important, folks. Not just some cash on the line, but also still an opportunity. But Neighbor, Juixetae, both of them have got to get this one done. Let's take a look how these two teams got here. We have number 3 seed Juixetae 10 taking on number 6 seed Neighbor. Now, Neighbor did have to beat out excuse me, this is a rematch. What am I talking about? This is a rematch of our very first day. That was Juixetae Neighbor, one of our 2 matches that went down to a 2-1 scoreline. So this one going down to the wire.
Yeah, talking about going down to the wire, we had a team change at the last possible moment. We submitted our teams and said, we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs against the New York Jets.
Xavier Gibson did everything in a bag of chips last competition yesterday. See how they get this one done. It's not going to be a kickoff return here. Fair catch starting from the 25. Juixetae is going to have their work cut out for them. Staring down the barrel of a Kansas City Chiefs squad that is great on offense, great on defense.
Well, it's kind of interesting here because, up here in the booth, we get an idea the teams are going to be, and it was a last-minute change for us. I imagine if Juixetae was trying to formulate how to start a defense against a mirror match, and in the last possible second, we had ourselves one of the best teams in the game. So it comes down to the resolve of Juixetae, see what they can do, and if they're find a way to persevere here today. Got ourselves set and ready there. Tugboat, my broadcast colleague is excited as I am. I can tell you one thing though, if there's anything that Neighbor has to do is somehow find a way to close the door. Remember, 24 hours ago, they won the first game, the best of 3, and the second game, they had a bit of a bad time, to say the least. So if they can win 2 games back to back and make it easy for them, they might have a better time today.
Gotta agree. This one's starting off. The encroachment here, what this just means that Neighbor wants a little bit more time on the defense to figure out what they want to do. This is going to be declined. Juixetae, hey, sportsmanship. Best part of this game. Hey, this is the Rally Cry Collegiate Series featuring Madden. How else would they start off the game except for a screen?
Hey, sometimes if it's something you understand that you're used to is actually good too. I go to my favorite burger shop. It's the same taste every week. Why not go for what works for you?
Starts off, gets some positive yardage. Speaking of positive yardage, Tyler Conklin, that's a man's name we have not spoken so much yesterday. Big tight end here coming in, having some major effect. Juixetae playing a whole bunch of different teams. Juixetae representing the college out of Charlotte here. Now Brees Hall, rock in hand, runs up for about 10, make it 11 there for a first down plus some.
well, different cast of characters, but still the same show. And I do think if Juixetae pulls off the win today and later on today, this would be the best run ever. Just picking the Jets to do it all. That was bold and brave, and so far it's working out for them.
Hey, again, don't fix it if it ain't broke. Right at the middle, Tyler Conklin gets a blocker, gets out to the first down yard, and a little bit farther than that, actually. Wrestled out to the right side. 2 minutes or so off of this clock, and Juixetae, Aaron Rodgers-led Jets are marching down this field right now.
I was kind of expecting a bit of a mirror of yesterday of Neighbor coming out and being the stronger side. But even though they haven't had a chance with the ball quite yet, maybe a bit premature, it does feel like Juixetae is pretty much in Saturday afternoon form if you watched the stream yesterday.
Really was. I mean, it's, 3:20 or so on the East Coast. Got to think that these two members are fully warmed up and ready to go.
Sure. This weekend, one of the more famous weekends in all of the calendar. Yesterday was 316 Day. Shout out to my Stone Cold Steve Austin fans. And today is St. Patrick's Day there at Tugboat. I don't know about you, but I do have a cool green feather boa I'm going to wear between games. Just you won't be able to see it, though. I mean, be off camera. I'm going to celebrate that.
I will virtually pinch you since I can't see it. Jets not going to have to worry about that one. Kansas City. How amazing would it be if Madden, got that influence, right? If the offense gets a pinch on a team not wearing green, then the stats are tweaked negatively for a little while, nerfed here on St. Patrick's Day.
Hey, there's all abilities in the game. You know, you might slip that in there and no one will know the difference.
Entirely fair. What is also fair is to say that Neighbor's defense has woken up in a lot of ways the past couple. This was relatively easier march down the field here for Neighbor representing the Fort Valley State University squad. Now Aaron Rodgers back in the gun, 13 yards up to the first, 20 outside of the end zone. Audibles upon audibles get called. Trips action to the right. Reese Hall going out for passing potentials, and if Tranquil just got the hands up right there, that'd been a different story.
Yeah, that was definitely a situation of just being absolutely fooled, right? So it was just an easy ball to block or even swat down. There really even wasn't a switch to user-generated characters, probably because they're expecting something completely different. Doesn't matter, though. First blood drawn by Juixetae.
So they are Juixetae, again, representing University out of Charlotte. Let's see how they respond on defense here, because, hey, this is the Kansas City Chiefs offense. We know what they can do. On the 12 is going to call for the fair catch. The Navantas of the world in shambles.
Yeah, if you guys, this is the first time watching the stream, everyone should run back every catch. Look, you only live once. It's not even you. It's a digital version of you. I say go for it.
Exactly. You cannot actually take any negative effect from this outside of game, of course. Now, so again, reminder, folks, this is a rematch of our beginning playoff bracket. Juixetae and Neighbor, the first broadcast on the stream yesterday. That was a barn burner. Then went down Juixetae with 2, Neighbor with 1. But remind me here, this was not exactly the same teams utilized, right? This was some Buffalo Bills, Chiefs, Jets. The whole running of the gamut there.
Yeah, I mean, Neighbor was definitely on a different level with the Buffalo Bills, and even though the first game looked like it was all Buffalo, it kind of collapsed at the end. So I get picking a different team. What a catch there from Travis Kelce, and doubling back before hitting a wall on the way down. Yeah, new teams are great, and it's working out for them, but I wonder if it can hold, is what I'm saying.
I love just watching the evolution of this matchup here, because like you said, that was Neighbor all day long. Game number 1, that one's going to be outside. Rasheed Rice not able to get the toes down inside. 17 seconds outside of the end of the first quarter here. I got to say, well, at least it's lower scoring, right? Because that was, 21? Yeah, 21 points in the matchup between Neighbor and Juixetae. First time these two teams saw each other.
Hey, can I ask you a question there, Tugboat?
Hit me.
You live in one of the entertainment capitals of the world, right? Las Vegas, and there's a local football team, and so you had experience to see a lot of away fans. Any away fandoms stick out to you?
Most sports fans from Southern California scare me just a little bit, Navant. Yeah, you got to have a healthy respect of Dodgers fans, for example. Rams, Chargers, obviously.
Just put Padres fans in a noogie. That'd be fine.
Something tells me they would not appreciate that one. Rasheed Rice, though, much going to appreciate the confidence Neighbor laid within him. 7 points on the board. Phillies fans, we were talking about that yesterday, right? Phillies fans, obviously, Raiders and Phillies fans not going to be seeing each other at Allegiant too often. Broncos fans are very, very well traveled. Very well traveled, and Kansas City fans are just very numerous. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's a
Right.
Kansas City fan this year.
Yeah,
This
I kinda
year,
am.
past 5 years.
Right. When it comes to Super Bowl stuff, I kind of root for the Chiefs only because Pat Mahomes' dad was a New York Met. But I'm with it. I get it. I'll do the whole red and white. Why not? And Kansas City has decent barbecue. We talked about that yesterday.
Kansas City has barbecue that'll make grown men shed tears from their eyes in public. It makes everyone uncomfortable. Still do it, okay? It was so good. It was so good. I'm gonna have to get the name of the place that I went to. Talk with some of the KCP people that I was like seeing in town, working with and stuff like that. Because it was too good, too good.
Yeah.
Reese Hall, making a nice one right up the middle. A lot of Midwest. I mean, St. Louis barbecue, right? A lot of Midwestern states really, really do kill it when it comes to just applying heat to burnt pig, right?
Right. Yeah. They got time to slow cook it. They don't have to live in these high rises like me up in a shoebox in the city here in Los Angeles.
Living above all of us people down here. So I get an incomplete pass right there, but yeah, I mean, the LA has its own great food. I mean, your street tacos, burritos. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah. It's definitely
It's just different.
Mexican, Tex-Mex, and fusion culture, but barbecue is definitely not something no one goes to LA for.
There's a name for the specific Hispanic food that is served in LA, right? It's not exactly Tex-Mex, not exactly full on in any one ethnicity, one Mexican food, Guatemalan food, or anything else like that, right?
That's a good question.
The element that LA is like imposed on the food around, like local food and stuff like that. I feel like there's a name for it. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's big enough Cuban and Guatemalan and Salvadoran communities that can have that stuff, but there's so many Mexican and Mexican Americans living in SoCal, they can actually do it by state. So you can go and get Oaxacan food, you can get food de Jalisco, you can get food de Baja California. So you can go through the Mexican gamut here in LA.
Love that. Love that. It's like state representation within. It's almost like sports, right? That's what we'd love to see. That's what we'd love to see. I want to see an SEC stretch of California where it's just like, this is SEC West. This is all your Alabamas, your Ole Misses, your LSUs, everything else like that. And then my SEC East over on a different side.
Oh, sad day.
Get back to it, though. Get back to it. We'll talk a lot more about food, though, folks. Aaron Rodgers surveying the field, actually getting the wheels going a little bit. Alan Lazard, if there is too much pressure on a New York Jets squad, that release valve is named Alan Lazard. For Kansas City is definitely named Travis Kelce, but there's a little bit of a difference in what those two men can do on the field. Changes up there from the defense, and it's going to be happy that this one was not snapped. Did not look like Neighbor was ready. Right here now. Drawn across is the showing zone. Nope, now switch to a much more close personal in-your-face man coverage right down the middle. Breece Hall taking advantage of some blown coverage, and that's going to be 4 members just beating feet to try to get this man down.
Yeah, once everything is rocking and rolling, the Jets really can't be stopped. That last play from Lazard was only stopped by a foot being out of bounds, but you could tell that is a big boy that could do a lot of yards after contact. And Hall, well, what hasn't been said? I mean, just doing the shuffle step when needs to be, getting in a whole other play worth of work, which is amazing to see.
We saw Juixetae, Breece Hall, user interaction on the juke right to the outside, taking advantage of just how much green you have to your left. To your right. Perfectly timed kick up and down. This is going to be what everybody on Championship Saturday and Sunday so far remains perfect on the extra point. We did see two 2-point conversions yesterday, though, right? And one of them missed.
Yeah, we did. We did see 2 attempts and 1 completion. We talk about frustration a lot, especially yesterday, about what it means to have a series slip. But if you're Neighbor and you played Juixetae your 4th time now, I wonder what's going through your mind when you go, hey, I can't believe we're still letting so many yards conceded after a running play quite like that. It must be so hard to wrap your head around what to do.
I can agree with that. I'm going to ring this negative bell or this gong too loud, right? But this is The very first matchup of yesterday that we saw on broadcast, a bomb down to Rashee Rice, a big into the outside, first down, and way, way more. But if you'll hark back with me, Devonta,
Hark.
shall remember. Hark away, sir. This was the neighbor squad that gave up in the second game after taking game number 1, like very, very one-sided.
Yeah.
And gave up in like the third period, down by like I think 14 or 21 maybe.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then that game 3 did not go their way. We were talking so much about how neighbors going to be kicking themselves if they do not get to this position right now.
Right, and it's something that I still have questions about. Like I'm hanging out with my friends last night, going, "Remember what happened today at work, where someone just quit when they had a chance to tie it up? What's going on?"
And it's a chance to tie it up. It's also a chance for a whole boatload of cash and the ability to fly all the way out to a little place named Detroit, Michigan for a little old thing called the NFL Draft 2024 edition.
Let's be real. With the kind of cash you can get in this tournament, yeah, you can do things academically, books or whatnot, things to upgrade your system, things to upgrade your set, but just the idea of having it in hand, and that is also in hand, touchdown Chiefs.
It's fantastic. Neighbor gets this one done. Single-digit seconds left on the clock. We're talking about maybe 2 more plays after that one, and that's if they're very short, methodical snaps to receivers right off the line of scrimmage. Now, kickoff coming. Juixetae takes this back. Yes, no?
I say yeah.
It really depends on where, right?
I always
Nah, that's
say
terrible
yeah.
positioning.
Go for it.
5 yards inside the end zone. Novanta.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, I'm not playing in this competition for a reason. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. My lifetime winnings is 0 for a reason. That's
Yes, gotcha. Shoot, if we're being honest, overall, especially once game, no, it wasn't game battles, was it? They didn't do. I can't remember exactly which company it was, but they did have the wager matches on this, so I'm probably like actually negative, right? Like overall. For being totally honest.
Oh man.
It's gonna be like a 68 or so yard field goal attempt. That ain't gonna happen. Juixetae,
Oh man.
nobody back, empty backfield. One is the loneliest number, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna be singing that song loaded up right side. This is a Hail Mary. Cross yourself and say your prayers.
Tie game. I mean, I probably wouldn't push this, but if you're feeling it like you say is, might as well give it a shot.
Juixetae's been gambling so far. That's a bomb. That's out. That's Gibson, and that's inside with 1 second left. Juixetae is going to snatch the lead back going into the second half.
That's just nasty. You didn't have to do it like that, Tuesday, but it was done, and it was done well. What a pass, what a catch. And that is a difference between nothing and 6.
Nicely done. And we're not even going to get a whole lot of opportunity here for Neighbor on the backside of this one. Third quarter we go. That is doing everything with literally as little as you can get. Literally as little as you possibly can get, man. Crazy.
I'm not sure what to say. Like, there's so much patience and time Aaron Rodgers has. That QB is so good, you wouldn't want to give him the time. But then having the afterburners on the other side to catch that ball on the run was amazing to see.
Crazy stuff. We were talking about a first matchup between these two teams that was kind of high scoring there. We see the exact same scoreline, right? 21-14 going in to the second half between Neighbor and Juixetae, but with the advantage flipped, with Juixetae now in the lead after having figured it out with the New York Jets.
Yeah, I think the Leicester only had 1 loss, but besides that, really felt like they were always in the competition. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but once you shifted to the Jets, it was almost like another level had been reached.
It's entirely fair. We can wax and wane about what could have been had Neighbor played out games 2 and 3, but regardless, Lockamo Jr. fell 2-0 to Neighbor, and Noah up next, who actually got into the winners round 2, won his first matchup there. Noah up next dropped, didn't get a single game against Neighbor. Now this one thrown way outside, trying to nail a water boy over there or something like that for giving him hot water or something. I don't know.
Yeah, look at the camera guy was trying to find that collision. If it was disappointed, it didn't happen. It was kind of cool to see.
Looking for something over there. Now we got 2nd and 10. Honestly, Neighbor's just not even really spent that much time on offense. Most of these have been big bombs. Obviously, Rashee Rice got to that right side corner, staying in the pocket, loves the pocket right here. Kelsey to the outside, but that's an early breakup, and we have not 1 but 2 incomplete passes for Mahomes and Neighbor after he only threw one so far in the first half.
Well, I was going to use the word efficient, but that's after 2 incomplete passes. But yeah, feel it with less possession, still being a score away says a lot, right? That means if you're Juixetae, you don't want to give too much time if you're having the last score of the game. But at the same time, though, Neighbor should be a lot further along. A lot of these play calls are kind of unorthodox. It's not really working out for them.
It's fair. 4th and inches is no decision. Pacheco right up the middle. A couple of yards, 2, maybe 3 right here is. You hear those guys doing the thing worse than us?
Who's that?
The commentators doing it worse than us.
Oh, yeah. What do they know?
What do they know? They don't have their positions for a reason. Total joke.
Right.
100,000% joke right here. Let me be very clear about that one.
Oh, you were joking? Okay.
Oh, you were joking. I love that. I love that. Travis Kelce, release valve here. Neighbor, Kansas City, a little bit of pressure. Team comes out. Travis Kelce receives and lets this thing air. That's going to be a first down. A yard or 2 after that is one as well. Davis almost picks this one off. A big bounding jump for Travis Kelce. He's taking offense to me calling him a release valve. That's a pressure cooker right there in the form of 7 on the board. Putker stays perfect. 21-21. Here comes the replay, folks.
Wow. I was sitting there saying, what about Pacheco? But, you know, if you score, forget what I was going to say. Pearls were firmly clutch. Doesn't matter if it's a touchdown.
Hey, but the pace of this game has been set. There have not been any defensive nothings. Gibson steps back and kind of surveys that for a second. And just a second of a stutter step is the difference between, 23, 22 at least probably, especially if he winged it to the left side corner and took it up the left sidelines. But 13, that's it. Especially if you're going on the gun, you're talking about only being about 6-7 yards outside of the end zone. Nice blocking. Tyler Conklin gets there. Lazard turns upfield, gets ahead of one, looks for a block on the second, doesn't quite get there, but the 50-yard line will be the result and the reward there for Alan Lazard.
Oh, my goodness. It's almost like he's going at half speed. He's waiting for the defenders to come to them before subduing them. You don't get to have that kind of swag if you don't know. You see yourself winning the matchup. Those right there is playing with confidence. Look at Juixetae. Could they take it a lot slower? Could they have a lot less impact? But why not go forward if everyone is working in tandem today?
254, I believe it said. 217 of those coming through the air. Lazard coming down with 66 of them himself off of 4 receptions. Believe he's caught 4 for 4 that he has been targeted on as well. Rodgers spanning the field, sending players where he wants them to go. That's out, blown zone coverage, but it's going to be a breakup there off the efforts of the user-involved player.
Yeah, I totally got confused by the graphic on the gridiron. I thought it was going to be a popped-up ball for recovery. But, hey, look, that's something that worked before. You can't knock it for trying it if your opponent hasn't figured it out. I think, thankfully, Neighbors started to be a little bit wise. So, if you're Juixetae, we'll see what else you got.
Yeah, just getting players like a little bit past the secondary has really come forth and given Juixetae like a lot of advantage so far. 4th and 2, once again, is no decision whatsoever. Only 3 up on the line, a couple a little bit closer out. They're going to try and collapse this pocket in, but pocket retained. That's going to be another one. There's no such thing as just running the ball up the middle for a couple of them.
Yeah, absolutely unfortunate. In double coverage, still being able to bring it down and still get to have a couple yards to advance. Those are not good. You don't want to concede passes like those.
Garrett Wilson finally getting involved here as well, as they're going to be getting up to the 2nd and inches. A very close game as New Jersey just continuously adding up to that. No, 2nd for 30, excuse me.
I wonder if the New York Jets decided to really call themselves New Jersey, if we would riot or just go, yeah, okay, cool. It's fine. We accept it.
NJJ, I don't know. NYJ just flows, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. New Jersey Giants agrees.
Do they keep the JETS? Jets. There you go, Brees. Oh my goodness, I thought he fell inside.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know the Jets were named after the New York Mets because they rhymed? True story.
Jets, Mets.
Nets.
The old ball. I don't know. Juixetae gonna be running this one in for 7. I look like I should be playing an organ right now. This red. I'm just kidding. I honestly love this jacket, but funny stuff. Replay here for you guys in the Bruce Hall run. I got this jacket for Esports Awards last year at Resorts World. Had not been to Resorts World before. I'll let you take one guess as to what their colors are, aka what the help at Resorts World wears, Devonta.
I'm gonna say crushed velvet and swag. Is that the color of your jacket?
It's gonna be black and dark red. Had to go around there, and so their accent was much more black than the red. So fortunately, I did not look exactly like the the staff that works there. But any fans of The Office gonna be familiar with that situation.
Absolutely. I make a point to keep a blue shirt in my car just in case I go to Target. So I totally understand that, bro.
There you go. Have everybody come up and ask you for stuff, and you just tell every single one, "Hey, you know it's on the app now, right?"
Right. I don't work here.
Oh, 25 seconds or so by snap here, 2nd and 5 for Neighbor. No real reason to like time this one out either. Doesn't have to be fast, but Pacheco sent out for receiving duties and just continuously, that's the mistake that Juixetae has been making. They continuously go either for man coverage that doesn't take a man named Isaiah Pacheco into account, which would be a mistake all of its own, or this is zone coverage that is just not doesn't have enough allotted for this side, and continuously Amber is going to pick this one apart, and whether it's Pacheco or another receiver, get those first downs when they need them.
Yeah, you're seeing the opposite side of confidence, right? Juicy is basically sitting there going like, "You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Oh, you did that. Okay." And then there you go. Responds in kinds with an aggressive play. Definitely toying with your food there. Juicy is. I like it. I love the confidence, but you're gonna have freak plays like that we saw before this with Pacheco getting that catch.
I mean, this is just the result of a little bit of pressure, right? Especially given the Neighbor is sending everybody out, no bodyguard duties for Pacheco. That's enough right across the middle. Kadarius Toney getting involved in the offensive side of the ball. Well, special teams action earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely late here in the fourth, and I was saying this before because this could be it right here. Oh, apparently not.
Fumble.
Was
Okay.
it recovered or it was not recovered? Okay.
Was going to be recovered by the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that was a loss of a yard or so, though, right?
Yeah, but that's not a loss. There's a touchdown with the screen. What I was going to say about the time situation now, because Neighbor's so good at running the clock, if you're Juixetae, you got to really take a page from their playbook once you get this ball here now to make sure you're the last one to score.
Chiefs and Neighbors now, speaking of scoring, scored in every single corner thus far. No onside kick attempt quite yet. This is still, like, with enough time, this could go down 35-35. See another barn burner right there. 35-38. Well, no, that was 34-37 for Luke plays lacrosse against Juixetae in that second round right there for the first game, of course.
You get your onside kick anyway. Or your offside kick. You got a bounce kick. Bam.
The idea here, of course, is giving Juixetae a shorter field so that they don't get as many first downs to keep running this clock.
Yep.
It's the first play of the drive. It's Lazard. Oh, covers the ball when he should have just taken off.
So, as we're talking about running that clock here, it's 4 minutes. It is kind of accelerated, but it definitely comes down to a balance of what they're planning to do here. If I'm Juixetae, you're going to see a lot of passing plays that are going to be diagonals and hookbacks and loopbacks, chicanes, if you will.
Rodgers holds on to it. Well, nobody in this entire stadium or in the booth was expecting that one. Aaron Rodgers looks very, very happy for going 12 feet.
Signaling for a first down with a 4-yard run.
Like I guess, dude. Gotta love the confidence.
First down.
Well, they're on the 38, so conceivably 3 more first downs. Brees Hall gonna get that one, and just that wise decisions. Juixetae is now thinking, hey, run this clock, get Neighbor to burn this trio of timeouts, and take this one 31-28.
Yeah, that'd be it. That'd be the best course strategy because you don't want to be able to put anyone on defense, especially someone like Neighbor who has proven to come from behind in past weeks of play.
It's also a really wise decision to not go for some kind of longer run or to run this clock because you know it's stopping at 2 minutes. So just, hey, get this off at like 2:05 or so. Let this run all the way down. This is one of the clock stoppages for Neighbor.
This could be a gift or it could be a curse. You know it has to be done, and well, now you put yourself in a position where we're going to start seeing those timeouts now.
I hope we do here because need some time on the backside if you get this stop on this set of downs. 3rd and 6. It's not just a gimme here for Juixetae and the New York Jets.
I would say that a field goal would be numero uno, but I don't know. I think there is a bit of a Juixetae desire to have everything ends with a touchdown. So I should still be in the offense.
Airing it out is just a little bit dangerous at this point, especially given that this is a neutral situation. We do not have points on the board advantage-wise for Juixetae yet. Xavier Gibson going to get the first down plus a little bit more.
I mean, like I was saying, those passes are tend to be the ones that go the other way so late in games like these. But I really think that there's a little bit of a pull to be able to end the game with a touchdown rather than the more sensible field goal here.
Yeah, that's going to be encroachment to stop the clock right here. That's going to be giving them a little bit of yardage, but that is, again, a kind of advantage here for Neighbor because they're giving them a shorter field and a less first set of downs. Brees Hall up for about 3. Now we see our timeouts. I was going to say at a certain point, Neighbor's got to take this one into account.
Yeah, absolutely. 53 seconds isn't a lot of time, but it can be an absolute eternity. You don't figure out what your next plan and course of action is.
Other screen, Gibson on this one gets up to 3rd and inches. There's the timeout. This will be a fresh set of downs. And yeah, Gibson was kind of like diving for it. If you could have like had the foresight, got him behind right there, and maybe pushed them inside. So this is just a first down on this drive, and that would be optimal, I guess. But this is that is perfect situations. Everything going right in that one.
Yeah, well, I thought for sure I was going to be like, oh, well, we're not going to have anything in the shotgun. And the audibles came out. So I guess everyone doesn't want to risk getting up close. And the run there is that fresh set of downs, like you were saying, right in front of the end zone.
And this is Neighbor saying that they're happy taking it with 5 seconds to go, maybe even less. Perfect clock utilizations here for Juixetae. That's going to go. Now they're going to take it down to the 1, call a timeout, kick this field goal.
Oh my goodness! To think about field goals, there's some weeks where it wasn't even in the equation, but now the deciding factor being one of those, defensive fans will be like, chef's kissing for this one.
Hey, defensive-minded fans, they win championships. Defense, you know what they say, right? Defenses punch their ticket to Detroit, Michigan.
That's really a normal quote. I don't know if you saw that inscribed anywhere, but I'm with it. I agree, 100%.
Up and in, split the field goal right here, right down the middle, perfectly done. This will be a 1-second kickoff. So this is definitely at this point, right? You're not going for the
fair catch.
kickoff return. No, Kadarius. Yeah, okay. I was about to say Kadarius Toney does. You got to go for the fair catch on this one and go for a single play, right?
I guess I'm inclined to agree. We're done.
Last play.
Mahomes.
Last play, yeah. What, 4th down and everything done right here, and Pacheco is going to be handed off right here. So, 31-28 game will be the result of our first matchup between these two teams. And I guess if you're Neighbor, I'm still going for like a Hail Mary in the very last little bit, right? Like we've already seen crazier things happen so far, man.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna lose if not something dramatic, maybe a passing play on the right side or the Hail Mary. But going right up the middle with Pacheco was put yourself in a way to not be successful. But let's talk about the game here. Neighbor did very, very well. I think he's even a better Chiefs pilot than we are with the Buffalo Bills. But ultimately, it was the resourcefulness of Juixetae and the New York Jets that got them the dub right here in Game 1.
Yeah, just the utilization of those first downs at the very last little bit. Juixetae is a gamer, man. He's got all that planned out to the second. As perfect gets. We'll be rolling on through to our game number 2. Once again, folks, after the culmination of this matchup, we'll be switching on along to No Mercy Lambeau and Luke Plays Lacrosse, winner's side of this bracket. Also, we did not broach the topic quite yet, right? Given this is double elimination bracket, we wouldn't come forth and have like no advantage from a winner's side bracket, right? A team that comes through and does not drop a single match throughout the entirety of the championship bracket. There will be a 1-game advantage for the player coming in from the winner's side, either No Mercy Lambeau or Luke Plays, when they're playing Lights and Sounds in Detroit, Michigan at the NFL draft. There will be a
Abs-
one-game advantage in that series. So
Absolutely fitting. You should be rewarded for being able to have your eyebrows down and find a way to cut through the top of the graph, the bracket here. But imagine having a game in hand when that first game you're trying to settle your nerves is worth its weight in gold.
yeah, it really is. It really is. Like essentially coming in and saying that like I can either just take 2 down because we believe it's going to be a best of 5 there for the championship, of course. I can either take 2 down back to back, or I can even come in and then just give up a single game when like all of this stuff is around me, right? Pressure creates diamonds sometimes, but having that one game cushion is never going to be a bad thing. We'll be getting confirm as well as far as any team changes. I mean, this was a very like close matchup. I could see Kansas City going over the Bills because they have similar offensive weapons, but the defense is just, with Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Von Miller, you're just talking about 3 just absolute pillars of the defensive community as is, and just leaving even 2 of those on AI is just fantastic. So
Yeah, I'm with it. If neighbor, if you're watching this or listening to this, you gotta stop playing scared. A day ago, there was that fear of those interceptions and those balls going over there and going the other way, and now we saw so many incomplete passes on the edges. I understand you don't want to be able to throw away your fortunes, but those incomplete passes ultimately were your undoing because had they connected, you would have been in position to score at least 2 more times in the past game. I just say go for it. Get a little bit of swagger, fake it till you make it. That's what I do all the time, man. Get yourself a chance. You're out of chances now. Put everything forward.
it works. It just works. And neighbor, like we've been talking in the past, 9 weeks or something like that, about how like you don't have to Hail Mary in every single play, right? Not every play has to be a 40-yard bomb from the gun, but at the end of the day, there was only one really big attempted play by neighbor in game number 1. That was Rashee Rice, like 25, 30-yard bomb over to the right side. Travis Kelce and everybody else on this squad, Kadarius Toney, everybody else got like a sub 10, 15-yard touchdowns on this one. Outside, I think there was like a 21-yard run from Travis Kelce. That was just off the result of a moderately sized pass, caught short, and ran all the way in because Travis Kelce's Travis Kelce.
Yeah, the GOAT or soon to be GOAT. I don't know. Maybe too early. Feels weird saying it now. He's a Swiftie.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, true. I mean, if you ended the career right now, then it's still a conversation. I'm still kind of pointing towards Tony Gonzalez, but like Travis Kelce has still got some gas in the tank.
Yeah, you know what? The 2 times I ever played fantasy football at my job as a team building thing, Travis Kelce's bailed me out both times. So props to that.
Hey, but it's the stat. It remains past 3 years, total total yardage received. Travis Kelce is number 3, right? Obviously, everybody else in the top like 15 or something like that are wide receivers.
Well, wow, that's a fantastic stat.
Yes,
Staggering.
I'll get the exact. I believe it's. You know what? I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to get the stat for you though, because.
Well, it looks like we're going to have the same 2 teams: the Kansas City Chiefs, piloted by Neighbor, against the New York Jets, piloted by Juixetae. Juixetae having a game in hand in this best of 3. Only needs 1 more to move on into that finals bracket, which means if they win today, they get to be top 2. And top 2 gets a ticket to Detroit.
Yep, no surprises here. Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson, number 1 and 2. So, Breece Hall, oh my goodness, breaking off a big one here and early, using defenders and smashing against them. Usually you see these pick and run plays right around the line of scrimmage. Breece Hall gets that one done with the AI, and it's a big one to break this game wide open early.
Yeah, the thing about that one was the composure. I think a lot of lesser players was run that turbo and see how they can go as fast as possible, but the restraint there helped them out in the back end. That's where you know your players and how smart you are with making sure they have enough juice in the tank. 7-0.
Say juice in the tank. I say juice in the tay. Juixetae doing fantastic stuff right now. 7-0 right now, and that's going to be the fair catch called there for James, I believe.
Fans didn't even get a chance to find their seats, and there's already points on the board. Kind of an ominous sign if your neighbor. Let's see if I found a way to respond.
I'm one of those guys, I'm not going to lie, dude. Face off for hockey, the initial jump ball for basketball, the opening kickoff here for football. I just don't have to be there for these things to fully appreciate the game. I'd be mauling. I'd be tearing my hair out right now.
So are you late to arrive and you wait till after the game's over? Do you late to
Correct.
arrive and leave early? Like, what's your vibe?
I'm late to arrive, late to leave. I hate of like fighting traffic, and the best thing that you can do at a pro sports game is just find something cool to do for 20, 30 minutes after the game ends.
Yeah, but it's like 11 o'clock or midnight on the school night sometimes. I got things to sleep at, you know,
I,
like my
I
house, my
stay up
car.
late all the time. We were
Yeah,
just
you are
talking about that.
Batman. I got to, yeah, for sure.
Yep. What can I say? What can I
Fighting
say?
crime. Yeah. I think yesterday I went to the local soccer team, LA Galaxy, and I was there like an hour
Yes.
early, and I left in the 70th minute because traffic in Southern California is a different class of category altogether.
It's fair. It's
Yeah.
fair. I like to always remind people, you are not in traffic, you are the traffic.
Whoa, that's
Whoa,
way too
dude.
deep, man.
Like ants in an anthill, man.
Yeah, it's like we can't talk about society if we're in society, bro. Like, what?
Oh, it's hilarious. Juixetae with an early score. Neighbor's going to be looking back at this one, heavily loading the left-hand side. Valdez Scantling and Mecole Hardman Jr. on the left. I believe that's Kadarius Toney. Well, them up now. Moves to the right side, gives them a lot more options. Patrick Mahomes given a right side of the field and a lot of it. Throws this one out, 1 for 3. Neighbor is not exactly doing the things they needed to be doing to clean up the edges and taking advantage over Juixetae thus far. It is only 2 plays in.
Yeah, 3 yard gain. I would have taken that, but hey, maybe I'm just a guy in the booth.
No, I 100% agree with that. Maybe even thinking about fumble potentials. Bomb outside. Travis Kelce going to catch this one, hit the dirt quickly. First fresh set of downs purchased.
Definitely an outstretched Superman position for Travis Kelce, but brings it down because, like we were saying before, is elite.
Ooh, big sack to follow this one up. Adams makes Mahomes one with the dirt.
Man, that's the thing you don't want. You want that whole pop ball situation, but you getting taken down for a full sack. Yikes.
Yikes. Fantastic. Elimination right there. There's the pot. Okay, so wait, 3rd and 18.
Yeah, that last sack was a pretty big one, as you would say.
Yeah, seriously. 3rd and 18 is just so much more brutal when it comes to this. Is basically requiring a long pass or maybe just a moderate one, and then followed up with a 4th and short run. Not sure. Mahomes not willing to go for this one all the way out to Valdez Scantling, catches it inside, and that's. This is just the major difference between Neighbor and Juixetae. Neighbor is moving the chains where they can find it. Juixetae is picking it up and dragging it behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being able to connect the passes is one thing, but to manufacture first downs always makes a mark of a superior team.
And now Pacheco jukes to the inside when he honestly should have just drawn a line to the side pylon there on the left. As it is, not real much of advantage there. It's 2 yards on the first real run of this Kansas City Chiefs squad in this game number 2. Juixetae taking it down 31-28. No OT situation in the first. This is a devoid defensive side of the field to the right here. Travis Kelce's going to be out there. Does have a man near them, but this is zone coverage. Nope, it's going to be Valdez Scantling on the redirect. 7-7 game we go.
Well, I was going to be concerned they're going to run out of road there, but just being able to plant your feet and it counts. And, well, we're saying that playing with a little bit more edge if your neighbor understands the stakes. Well, we're getting a lot more of those spirited plays right now.
Up and down. It's perfectly 7-7. It cannot be understated that Juixetae got this touch in the first, it was 8 seconds, right? 8 seconds of actual game clock.
Yeah, about that.
Easy stuff. Gibson going to be coming back at this one, catches it with a little momentum as well. Middle of the field actually giving up. Now weaving, cutting, and diving. Last player going to be getting up to the 42.
Well, the catch and run was great, but it was the realization of my broadcast colleague being like, oh, wait, this is actually a good run. It was worth it. You're like, oh, here's another one, and what a fantastic juke to really well in events.
All the way back in the gun, Hall turns into a receiver and gets it done. The check down comes from Aaron Rodgers, and that's going to be enough for decent advantage right here because Rodgers wasn't finding much more. That pocket collapsing like the sewing was coming out.
You're not wrong, and look, Aaron Rodgers is not being paid by the hour, making sure those things are quick snaps right out.
It's funny. Yeah, Tyler Conklin also was I'm not gonna lie, was mostly just snubbed yesterday. Was kind of ignored there and did not get really involved within the passing or the receiving game, I should say. Mostly running as roles for blocking and whatnot for either man named Alan Lazard or Brees Hall running out of the backfield. Getting them involved multiple times in both games now is Juixetae. This is gonna something that's gonna result in success.
Love how chaotic this play calls are. It's kind of like you wouldn't like link those two together at all, but if we're getting that right here. Multiple games. This is what our fifth game or sixth game of Juixetae we've seen this weekend, and it just seems like playground rules are happening in New Orleans. You know?
This is the sixth. No, hang on. Jordu Juixetae yesterday. Luke plays Juixetae yesterday. This is like the 6th or the 7th game or something like that. Juixetae has been featured on broadcast here a whole lot. If he doesn't punch a ticket to the NFL draft, we're going to look mighty foolish, aren't we?
Yeah, but my point is though, like it's very easy to make yourself into the same kind of plays. And you see some plays being featured, and the branding is very kind of loose and fast and confident. But the actual plays per drive are different enough that you're seeing opponents struggle to even pin that down, which is really the key to success. Is when you think you have your opponent figured out, and they hit you with a hook you weren't looking for.
I feel like just Madden-wise, like the Madden mentality is that a hook is almost like, especially because you're stopping, is just giving up of any positive yardage after that, unless you come up with a fantastic spin like immediately. So it's just feeding the mentality of like all or nothing, big gamble, all in type plays. Hall tracked down perfectly by the user-controlled Johnson. Number 13 takes him down easily.
Neighbor actually getting in advance of a tackle. Pretty clean there for a loss. We haven't seen too many of those on the Jets side.
Yeah, especially not against Brees Hall and the Jets very often. Delay of game coming in.
This is unfortunate for them.
Rodgers back in the gun. Stevers moving around just a little bit. Now he perfectly bisected outside of Brees Hall to his right. Wilson sent way farther out right here. Probably just to kind of span this defensive pressure a little bit farther across the field. It's going to be long ball to Conklin, and Conklin gets the toes down.
Oof, that is going to be a play on the highlight reel for sure.
A similar setup, trips initially. Brees Hall though keeps it and now runs it down about 2. There's 4 rushes for 80 yards and a touch, but this was probably like 56, 55 or so off of the very first rush, a rush that was busted wide open for a score. So not a whole lot of pressure, not a whole lot of success since then from Brees Hall. Here comes the receiving duties, possibly to the corner. Conklin again keeps it inside, and this offensive drive could just be named Tyler Conklin.
Wow, that was a great pass. Just to be able to have the steely resolve to stay where you are for Andrew Rodgers with the connection. You don't get 2 opportunities like that, and when you do, you have to execute, and execute what they did.
Conklin coming in with all the receiving yards. You can see in that replay down bottom. Big shout out to our production staff. Goated they are. 24. That's more. Charging down the field right now. Actually gets a little bit extra. There's a little bit extra right there. Looked like he was going to be dead and neutral at the 24-25, something like that, Novanta. Yeah. But fortunately, Novanta's the world rejoicing right now.
Hey, the more time to do it, the better you are at it. Just, practice makes perfect.
It's a really, really good point, too. And you don't get better practice than, really heated competition like right now. Both players know just what is at stakes. Nobody giving up anything for free.
Imagine if someone told me a trip to the NFL draft is on the line. Best believe I'd be sweaty.
Try it all the way out. There's the screen. Tony, though, read this book. They've seen the chapter. They've subscribed to the Patreon. They know every line.
They dropped him with a backbreaker. Shot the WWE. You saw that? He went 2 different directions. Yeah, ouch.
It was just, 316 day yesterday, right?
Yep. Oh, heck yeah.
Tony, two-time Tony here. They call him two-time Tony because he takes receptions 2 at a time. First one goes really short one to the right side. Second one a lot closer right now.
Did they really?
No, they do not. That was the two. They call him Tony 2 times because he says everything 2 times from gangster movie.
Yeah. You know, I believed you, man. I was on bated breath. No, oh, you ruined my trust. I don't believe your tugboat anymore.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite things just to give players, both NFL that I'll probably never meet, and also esports players. Valdez Scantling. Okay, no, this is wise. This is wise. We're playing clock right now, right? Juixetae is now within easy field goal distance. This is 28, so fresh set of downs here, fresh set of downs there, fresh set of downs again to waste all this timeout. If Neighbor starts utilizing these timeouts, which obviously they will, to create pressure, you got to now set the clock against Juixetae.
Let's see how many timeouts are going to use in the first half. Haven't really been the forte with these two teams. Oh,
Checo gets to the first and not much more. That's wise. It's wise. It looks weird, people. If there's any traditional, like NFL fans aren't watching Madden right now, then you're like, hey, that was a wide open play. That should have been 7 points on the board.
Yeah, I get that, but the placing yourself down the ground like it's a picnic is kind of weird. Let's be real.
Just kind of like hanging out down, like kind of laying on your side, propped up your helmet with one hand, like, hey guys, did you guys bring the Capri Suns?
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of weird. Slide, brother, slide. That's all I'm asking.
Changes now. There's this one Pacheco, yeah, and he's going to give him the middle of the field right now. Here comes timeouts. This one coming from Juixetae, realizing that 2nd and 4 is not gimme territory. Now Neighbor be waking up. Pacheco actually hit inside, and so this is Juixetae saying like, hey, give me this one back. Give me this one back. I want 26 seconds. That's plenty of time to cook.
Tie game city it is, and even though the timeout was used by the Jet side, didn't really stop the bleeding there. And I wonder what 26 seconds could mean for Juixetae and company. Probably not much, but I've been fooled before.
Hey, everybody clip it. This is a Juixetae Jet squad that scored at 1 second. They had one play at the end of the first half in game number 1, a score difference that would come forth and net them a neutral position, coming into an easy field goal for the dub. Now, marching down this field, 2 timeouts. This is 75 yards, 7. There's a big one. There's Gibson. Gonna hold on to this one. That's 25 or so to lead it off on what they needed up to the 47.
It was off balance the catch, but it was still brought down, and it's just been the good luck that Juixetae has been having with their completions.
22-yard pass in the previous. Brees Hall sent on blocking duties for this one. Across the middle, Wilson drilled down. There's another timeout, though, but we are now comfortably within field goal territory. Take 37, yeah, at about 18 or so. That's where they need to go. 53 is definitely doable.
I'm surprised they didn't go for the field goal, but they're thinking touchdown from here. Let's see what they have in mind. Streaks, yeah, definitely.
Out to the outside. Brees Hall take this one to the outside to stop this clock. That's going to make this so much more easy field goal positioning if that's what they're going for. Given that there are 12 seconds left, you don't have time to take an infield pass and then get down and spike the ball. Obviously, meaning that you get the first down here. That's just not enough time. Now it's another shot to the flat, I would assume. Yes, it is. No thrown outside, and maybe just burning a little bit of clock now.
Got to give credit to both players and both teams for really treating each quarter like it's the last one. A lot of times people kind of want to say, okay, let's get rally in the second half. We're not seeing that here.
Every second counts. Post and 2 slants, that's what it looked like. They're obviously changing things up right now. Gotta get this one out. That would have been disastrous if this was a sack. This is a sack. There is no spiking the ball territory. Now Juixetae opportunity to put a field goal that spelt the difference in game number 1.
I talked about playing with a little bit of reckless abandon, but you gotta go with the safe choice here. Still the first half. Get some advantage any way you can take it.
2 seconds left. We will be getting a kick off here and an opportunity for a single play. Again, folks, Neighbor gave up a touch in the last second of the last. They're going to be wanting to get this one back. Yeah, yep. A fair catch. Just want to get a single opportunity at a big bomb. I say that Juixetae finished, or Neighbor finished the end of the first half last time in a similar situation with getting the ball back right here and a single play. They hand to Pacheco right up the middle just for a guaranteed down and to push it into the second half. This is not what's going to happen this time. But Mahomes rolling out. It's a bomb outside. There's a lot of jerseys down there, but nobody brings it down into the second half. We go.
Definitely saw 3 different outcomes with that pass, with the one that makes me go, was what we got. It was dropped, but it was a sea of white and a sea of green. Could have gone either way.
One of those situations like you said, there's 3 different outcomes and 2 of them are bad. Or one of them gets you no points. One of them possibly sets up a bad situation running back the other way, but not going to happen. Not going to happen. Neighbor receiving this ball in the second half. Juixetae scored in the first 8 seconds of theirs. It'll be Neighbor's opportunity to now go forth, put a touchdown in, and take this lead back.
You know, when you play Madden there, Tugboat, do you try to milk the halftime period? Do you try to stretch your fingers out, or are you kind of locked in?
I try to, right? I don't think I could have done the same kind of actual calculus that Juixetae did in the first. I mean, both of these players did at the end of the first game, though, right? I was calling for Neighbor timeouts earlier than that, but he reads the first down markers even better than I do, given how many first downs and stuff like that were left. So fantastic utilization. To answer your question, I try to, but the efficiency maybe not the same rate.
Fair enough. I mean, I think you're a better Madden player than I am, or I just get really angry really quickly. It's fine.
This game does have a unique ability to irritate, though. That's for sure. Ooh, Pacheco weaving this one around Davis. Davis chooses the right side on this one, but does give up a couple of extra yards. Pacheco, 18-yard catch and run on this one.
A little bit of help from the servers there, but doesn't matter. Jukes both defenders to get himself a nice completion.
And the gun mostly solo. There's a nice snatch out the air. Carter the second now going to come forth and flip this momentum on its ear.
You got to see that one again. You saw that almost like cheetah on the Serengeti, just waiting to strike with a full-out stretch, and now we're going the other way.
It's done. What is that? Fort Valley State University Neighbor. It's out of Georgia here going on against Juixetae out of North Carolina. That's going to be rush just to keep this clock running, maybe? I don't see this as I mean, it is the second half here, but I don't see this as a situation where you're going to continue to play this one, especially now down. Lazard takes the screen. Oh, no. Boydo gives up a lot of yardage now, pushing this one out. Lazard takes a big one up the sidelines.
That's unfortunate. You knew where you had to be, so you did the player swap, but then you just got a little bit confused, disoriented of where your player was, and it was a juke in the wrong direction. Opening up the path for your opponent is something you're going to kick yourself about for many, many hours after the game.
A run in field, a pass in field doesn't matter here. If you're Juixetae, you can basically utilize your first down to just keep this clock running. 30 seconds at a time is basically a lifetime within the game of Madden, and given what is left this half of football here. Again, Juixetae up 1-0, guys, if you're just joining us. R1 is going to be the decision. Gibson again snatches this one out of the air, just like Carter the second did a couple of plays ago.
Forget about getting the accurate power for that pass. It was definitely under pressure. A second and a half too late, and you would have Aaron Rodgers on the ground.
Speaking of Rodgers, bringing in just a little bit more. That's Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall going to get a little bit of a pocket up the middle and makes a little something for it. 3 yards going to be the advantage as this clock keeps running. They are going to have to snap it within this quarter, though. 36 on the 36 on the play clock, 37 on the game clock.
Only 1 second separates that. Let's see if we're going to have ourselves a touchdown party. But either way, it was a fantastic effort with the interception to set him up for this success here.
Breece Hall out to the first down. The fourth quarter we go as Juixetae is set up very well right outside the end zone.
So let's talk about this one. It looked like we were going to go back and forth. It was all for Neighbor to get themselves a touchdown, but it really was a fantastic and spectacular player catch to go the other way. And now this could be the game-breaking moment for Juixetae if you're focused.
I will not be surprised if Juixetae takes this. I won't be surprised if this comes off the back of that defensive play, just making the biggest difference. Breece Hall beating feet and getting around a lot. a single yard. He gets a single yard up after having run 40 horizontally or so. Yeah, like coming into this, we can't be surprised because defenses have mostly been doing really, really well. Haven't forced any turnovers except for that interception, but this has just been a game of both players with like very short, methodical plays outside of the big bombs that they get to drive up this field and really set themselves up for touchdowns. Now, a loss of 2 on the previous run. Juixetae maybe feeling a little bit of pressure now.
Oh, pressure's really on because if you walk away with a field goal, yeah, it was an opportunity that wasn't presented, but it will pretty much not make you feel any easier about your prospects of winning.
Breece Hall again gets a solid blocking, gets around to the left side with a little bit of stiff arm, and Breece Hall puts another 6 on the board.
That wasn't a stiff arm, that was a Uranagi. That was a sit down, son. I'm walking here, and now we have another touchdown.
I'm walking here. Love it. Love it. I want to go to New York and just hear that one time because you hear it in movies all the time. Never in my multiple times going to the big city, Big Apple, have I ever heard anyone actually say that.
Yeah, we don't have time to talk to tourists. We just, just
That's
honk our
fair.
horns and walk away.
That's fair. I'm assuming you guys care about me more than you do. That's true. Classic tourist mentality.
Hey.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
It's this one to the 12 or so. Morgan to call for the fair catch. Neighbor knows what is at stake and is be setting this one up. Hopefully for success. The 25.
Love the late hits by the Chiefs away from the ball. Refs not even look at that. Yeah, definitely a do or die situation. Fourth quarter, you got to score here. If you're Neighbor, the question is, how do you want to do it? Are you going to do small ball first? Want to do the Hail Mary situations first? It's up to you. You can't walk away from this one empty-handed.
100% agreed. Tony?
Woo.
Almost up to the first. Only allowed 143 passing yards. That's pretty crazy. Well, there's another 20 or so. Added that total. 10 for 15 on 172 for Patrick Mahomes. Lining players up mostly on the line right now. Mostly closer to the line of scrimmage, the middle part right here, I should say. Mahomes surveys field, now tries to scamper out. That is a dangerous attempt right there.
Yeah, I understand trying to get out of the pocket, maybe steal some yards, but it almost felt like once that happened, it was a swarm of green. Mahomes had nowhere to go.
Sea of green like a beautiful ocean. Shot right across the middle again. Valdez-Scantling in Kadarius Toney's position. It's going to be a similar play with a similar result.
Well, imagine that. You don't do the Hail Marys, or you don't do the field goal. Here's a chance to do things while running the clock and making sure the pressure's on Juixetae to score again. I like this from Neighbor.
Speaking of pressure defensively, Brad backed up a lot right here. Forces, there you go. So this is such a good play. Juixetae just realizes this is going to be a pass 100%. Pacheco has just not been trusted as much by Neighbor in this. It is going to stop the clock, so one more play before the 2-minute warning. But after they back the coverage up right here, it's just a matter of time before this defensive line gets to Mahomes.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how big brain underneath the chaotic passing and play calls from Juixetae, how big brain the offense and defense is.
Oh, there's a pick! Hall on the other side. Hall's on both sides of this ball, coming in with a big effect. 10-point game on the 15. 2-minute warning about 4 seconds to go as Juixetae just got in much better position.
This is in boxing. Look at this replay. A boxing, we call that a feint, right? Putting yourself in a position you think you're going to go one way and you hit with the other side. That's exactly what happened. It's another interception for Gangrene.
And this is zero reason to do anything but run this ball a couple of times. Breece Hall right up the middle, no advantage, but that moves this clock, and there's a timeout coming for your Kansas City Chiefs.
Unfortunately, lights are pretty much going out here in Kansas City, barring a miracle. They could use one right now. Haven't seen an interception from Neighbor in a long time, but they could use one right about now.
So 2 interceptions, 2 INTs against Patty Mahomes here in the second game of this series. Breece Hall run again. There's the timeout. Now you're talking about passing territory. You do not want to try for another run and then the timeout called for Neighbor, because you're talking about a turnover on downs. You're talking about terrible field positioning that you're going to give to Patrick Mahomes. That's a dangerous situation, and that would come off the back, of course, or the onside kick attempt would come off the back of that as well. So Breece Hall right here, fourth touchdown. third time out, excuse me, 4th and 16 right now.
Might actually see a punt here in this game. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's
Ah!
exactly what's going to come, especially given that they're so close. Do not want to give up good field position and force Patrick Mahomes and neighbor to spend a lot of time getting this ball here.
Almost got blocked. You saw that? That was a blink of an eye. Go to the way now.
James gets past a little bit, so we'll be starting this one. They're 47 or so. Even if, so remember, folks, they get a field goal, they can still get the onside attempt after that score. And that's exactly what's going to be on neighbor's mind right now, right? You have to go forth, get this one, probably spend less than 30 seconds doing it, and then go for the onside kick to try and retain possession. That's a big one for Kadarius Toney right here.
I'll be honest with you. It's definitely possible, definitely doable, but it has a lot of steps on that plan for it to work for them. So I like their chances, but I have to admit the chances themselves are pretty small.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree. I mean, onside kick, we've literally only seen one successful onside kick recovery across the whole 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pacheco right here. They're going to be getting a first down plus a little bit more. Got to keep this clock running and got to go. Spike coming in 2nd and 10 after a little bit of back and forth on the line of scrimmage comes.
Whew, I can't believe the biggest opponent is always going to be the clock when it comes to games like this, but this is why we love tension here in Madden. Will Patrick Mahomes do it? That's a question I have right now.
Can he do it? Definitely. Will he do it? He's done it before. The onside kick is really the big question right now. As Patrick Mahomes sacked right now, they can take the spike and just go for a one last play type situation, or maybe just pick this one up. So audible's called. Gotcha. So intentionally moving a Chiefs lineman to stop this clock and take a little bit of a flag. Move it back a little bit.
Not sure the smartest play. Well, see all he can do is stop the clock, so.
It's a big bomb regardless, but like you said, they got to stop this clock. Mahomes surveying field, looking for it. That's going to be Kelsey. And inside, Kelsey gets it.
Oh, man. Talk about clutch. Take a look at this one right here. Travis Kelsey has just been that guy, that dude, and make sure that Casey's still in the game.
20 seconds to go right here. There's plenty of time to get this ball back and get something going on the offensive side of this ball again. Here comes the onside kick attempt. Butker puts this one over. Conklin gets it in the hands and going to be dragged down. This game is over.
Wow. It looked like the ball was going to be stripped. It's because it was a little bit of a mountain of white Chiefs uniforms, but holding on to it all but seals this one away.
A 3-point game on both of these, 24-21 in this, unless Juixetae feels like giving them an opportunity. Yeah, not going to happen. We're looking at a 31-28 game, so a field goal comes in and does have the difference in both of these, especially given that Juixetae finishes this with only a 3-score difference, right? Only the field goal difference, but has 2 interceptions, whereas the other side got nothing. This just speaks to just how well Neighbor was playing after those defensive mishaps.
Yeah, definitely a bend don't break offense there from Juixetae because they did have the extra effort on defense to get those recoveries. Haven't been as efficient with the ball, but it was kind of found a way to win. So as we were saying, it's a scrappy kind of play, kind of fitting for the New York Jets, to be honest with them, and they are going on to the next round.
Absolutely. Absolutely love it. Neighbor will be saying adios to you for now. Fantastic job competing. $500 on the day as well. That is not too shabby. We'll be moving on along with our bracket and taking a look at our winners side here. Yes, that is No Mercy Lambo, which I do not believe we have seen on broadcasts so far. And Luke, No Mercy Lambo was a week 1 contender who punched their ticket a long time ago. Luke Plays, of course, we did. We'll be seeing them in just a little bit, guys. Short break. FBI Tugboat Navant will be back with you then.
We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's going to happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. The life we have chosen has prepared us for this. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disasters and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.